I don't want to say this directly, but I think we may have found the floor for GTii. Let's go ahead and verify exactly what I mean by that. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. This is ARCa coming at you with a GTii technicals, raw price action, and statistical thread of analysis. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community, ARCa, and Discord. But with that said, let's go ahead and dive right into the charts. Okay, you guys, first of all, I apologize if you can hear my toddler right outside. He's actually playing with mom and he's being really loud. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at this here. So yes, there are a few signals that may potentially show us that we are or very close to the floor before an upside continuation. So I'm going to give you two different perspectives from the daily chart here, okay? This is very important for us to look at for the holders of GTii, okay? So this is the first perspective that I'm going to show you. We are in a descending channel, particularly to this price action here dating from September 30th, or I mean actually September 29th to today. Okay, so what we're looking at here is the very bottom of this channel being tested. Okay, now the wicks that we got down below here, I'm sorry, the candles that we got down below here are actually testing what was a previous gap. And if you're a regular listener or a regular viewer of my channel, you'll know that I talk about leaving my gaps in place because they'll probably be used as a form of support or resistance in the future, or price action in the future of the price action to come. So now if we're looking at this price action, we're definitely following this channel very closely. And another very good thing that's particular to these descending channels are the golden rule of three that I talk about very often within my channel. So you're looking at potentially test number 1, 2, 3 of the resistance, followed by a capitulation event or accumulation of sorts, and then it looks like we may actually be confirming, since we actually broke out of the channel and we reclaimed it. Now it looks like we're confirming the support as a valid form of support before continuing on to the upside and potentially making a break on test number 4, which is usually the signal for true breakout. Okay, test number 4 is usually what we look for in these channels. Now, I'm going to show you another perspective for the daily chart for GTii. Okay, so this is so from, we said September 29th, right? So this is September 29th, and this is the channel that we were looking at in this chart here. So now I'm going to show you another descending channel that we've also been looking at here throughout the days that we've been evaluating the GTii price movement. Okay, so now within this one, we do have the 4 tests done. So we have test number 1, 2, we have test number 3 right here, and this is the breakout of, after the capitulation event. We do have the breakout on test number 4, and I remember right when we were about here at about $4.85, $4.60, I started warning people that this is a breakout of a channel. We actually need to still confirm our newly converted resistance into support. So we could potentially be doing that now. So the signals that I'm receiving from these two different perspectives from the daily charts are for the fact that we're at the bottom, confirming our support before continuing on to the upside, thus breaking out on test number 4 on the shorter time frame here, and then on the longer time frame looks like we're confirming our newly converted resistance into support before continuing on to the upside. And it looks like it's rhyming very well. Okay, so I'm starting to feel something for GTii here. Okay, so we're gonna continue our analysis here because there are more things that I want to talk to you about. Now, let's jump into the statistics side of this. Okay, so I've been mentioning this for some days now. And what I'm talking about is the fact that I needed volatility, or we needed actually volatility to reset the parameters for us to be able to gain a huge move to the upside. We actually need the volatility component which is actually, you know what? Let me explain this for the new viewers. So, new viewers, this is volatility you're looking at, and it is represented by this indicator BBWP. In order for us to get a bias in direction, since volatility is direction neutral, we pair it with an indicator similar to this one. But in my case, I'm using stochastic momentum, which is proprietary to TradingView software. Okay, so by the way, I'm actually now an affiliate of TradingView, so they've actually accepted me, and now I can, start getting some cash back upon signups with my referrals. So the link is in the description below if you are interested in trading like me within TradingView. Okay, so now moving on. So I've backtested this momentum indicator by itself. Okay, so the backtest for that indicator by itself is out of the entire trading history of GTii, particular to the 3-day chart. Out of a total 11 iterations, the momentum oscillator has guessed the upside 10 out of those 11, giving us a momentum upside accuracy of 90.90%. Not perfect, but pretty damn close enough. Okay, so I've definitely seen lower reads for other tickers, but this is about as high of a read in accuracy that I've gotten for any ticker. Sorry guys, particular to the stochastic momentum indicator in this case. So now that we have that out of the way, I need to be able to tell you what the criteria is in order for us to make a massive move. Okay, so I've taken note of every iteration to where we have reached the critical volatility loading zone, which could be anything above or at this 90% trend line that I have drawn here. So anytime that we have reached or surpassed the critical volatility zone and started a contractive move to the downside, I've taken note of that iteration's upside thrust versus the iteration's duration and the iteration of when volatility versus momentum profile have guessed the upside correctly versus incorrectly. Okay, so out of that backtest that by just for you, I actually do this by hand. Out of those iterations, we have these results. So out of a total 11 iterations, 7 have been guessed correctly to the upside, particular to the volatility versus momentum profile. That gives us an average upside accuracy of 68.63% with an averaged upside thrust of a massive 3,200% to the upside over the span of just over a month or 32 and a quarter days. This is proof of work. Okay, so the reason why I'm mentioning this now is because we are potentially resetting the conditions for that criteria to be met once again. We need the volatility component, which is this spectrum line, and the moving average from the BBWP, both above the critical zone, which I consider to be anything above 90%, and pivoted towards the downside alongside the stochastic momentum averages pitched to the upside. Now, the likelihood of this starting to happen is soon because we are now in oversold percentile. This is very similar to an RSI, so we could actually use that lingo. Okay, so since we're so close to that level to where reversal can happen, and we're seeing that we're so close to that area within the critical volatility loading zone, this may actually be prepping for something which is very much in accordance to what we're looking for in these charts. It looks like we're loading here, validating our newly converted resistance into support from a massive descending channel, which already presents the reversal of trend in general in a macro perspective. And in another time frame, in a shorter time frame within the daily chart, we have yet again the tests of this support before a continuation onto the upside. There's a lot of rhyming happening here, you guys. I don't want to be able to call this move to the upside just yet, and since we're on the 3-day chart here, this can likely take another week or two, or maybe even 3. It's just this movement is very slow, and it runs in sympathy to the closing of every single candle that is printed here. So the reason why I'm pointing this out now is because we got a kink to the upside and another kink to the downside based on the fact that we have already closed the previous 3-day candle. Okay, the previous 3-day candle has been closed just a few hours ago, and we have now started the new one. A very, very good thing within that closure of that 3-day candle is this. Whenever we do see a candle print with a large wick to the upside and a small body at the bottom signaling a potential type of hammer candle, that usually presents a reversal of trend on its own. So in candle analysis, this is a very good thing to look at. Okay, so when you're looking at candles like this printed at the top of a trend, that means downside. Oh yeah, like here. So we're at the, we're arguably at a top of a trend. We print a hammer candle here, or that usually signifies or signals us for a potential downside. The downside comes. Now we print an evening star, and it goes all the way down. So now we have the inverse of that print right here. So and since it's a 3-day print, we can give this some credit, okay? But upon the validations and the criteria being met for that upside thrust, remember, the criteria is that we need both the volatility component and the moving average above the critical loading zone and pivoted towards the downside alongside the stochastic momentum pivoted towards the upside, okay? So upon that criteria, we'll be able to add that 3,000% move to the upside, which just so happens to be in line with this trend line that I've drawn, this red one here. So you can see this candle here touch, you can see this candle here touch right here. And if we continue the trend line entirely to the upside, you can see that the 3,000% move suggests a price of about $70, which is confluent to this trend line as well. So it looks like GTii is getting ready to make a macro higher high in its price action. Okay, so now let's get a quick bias and direction for direction for the immediate short term. So when we were at here, look, this is actually what I was telling you about. This is November 1st. November 1st, I noticed that we had 3 primary drives of bearish divergence. Okay, so regular drives of bearish divergence. I called it here. I said, you guys, we're gonna sell off. There's also we need to also confirm a few supports here. So we need to come back here and test this in order for us to continue to the upside. So we're gonna come all the way down. Okay, ARCa, you suck. ARCa, you don't know nothing. ARCa, blah 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 blah. You're spreading FUD. Man, I'm not spreading any FUD. I'm trying to tell you guys what I see. I really do mean well. I'm trying to show you what the technicals and what price action do alongside sentiment. Okay, so it's important for us to be able to combine or merge our strategy so that we can gain a deeper edge in the trade. Okay, so if a jack of all trades is always a winner here. Okay, you guys. So this is why I'm showing you this. Okay, so the primary drives of bearish divergence realized to the downside, just like I warned. Okay, now the very cool thing is that we have now a brand new print of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 primary drives of of regular bullish divergence. Actually, let me make sure that is what we're looking at here. So no, actually, I'm sorry, that is hidden bullish divergence. So hidden bullish divergence happens when price action is making a lower high and the RSI signal is making a series of lower lows. In this case, you can see that we have multiple drives of hidden bullish divergence in the 12-hour chart, and it looks like it's already in play. So another signal. This is another signal telling us that we potentially just maybe have found the floor, or we can make another dip down right down here to continue validating whatever supports we need to continue validating here before a continuation onto the upside. This is a massive channel that we do need confirmation for. Okay, you guys. Another cool thing is that I did mention that we have the 1 spot 618 right down here as a form of support. We have definitely used that 1 spot 618, and it's helping us continue to the upside. Okay, so now I just want to look at a quick moving average. I want to see if everything is still above us. Okay, yeah, so we have literally on the daily chart every single moving average that's ever known to man just against us. Okay, so this is going to be a rocky trek. Don't let your emotions get in the way. Just trust the data, okay? This is the way I am, okay? Please know that I'm not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as a form of entertainment. Okay, I need you guys to do your own DD and we'll be okay, guys. All right, so everything will be fine. So now, yes, I did mention this one spot 618 being a relevant point of support, and I gave us a range of support for accumulation. Okay, so in this case, we are respecting more so the newly converted resistance into support. You can actually see the prior 2 days already testing our newly converted resistance into support 2 times already in a row, okay? But in reality, it's actually 1, 2, 3, 4 consecutive days of confirmation before continuation onto the upside. Statistics, technicals, and raw price action are indicating a potential upside soon, okay? So just know that. So I do see potentially some downside still coming along, but it may be a little indecisive. Okay, so as you can see here, the just so you new viewers know, these are the RSI properties right here. You're looking at 4 zones, and these 4 zones are blown up here for you to be able to tag along. So look at the, you know what? I'll expand this one and make the 30-minute apparent as well, or visible. So look at these time frames. Okay, you're looking at a neutral bias in direction. You're looking at a neutral bias in direction with a slight upside continuation, neutral bias in direction, neutral bias in direction, and also this is also neutral. So we don't have any suggestions from our indicator that we're going up or down in the next day or so. But in candle analysis, in statistical analysis, and raw price action, yeah, I am starting to see that we have potentially found a very close bottom, or if not already in. So that makes me feel like there's some type of catalyst happening within GTii. If anyone knows anything, please do some research, reach out to me, join the Discord. Let's discuss this so we can be able to gain a powerful move to the upside, in which then we can all gain and just make a massive amount of money within this. Okay, so with that said, I think this is a pretty good place for me to leave off the video. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'll make sure to leave the links in the description below for you to consider joining the ARCa trading community. Okay, but with that said, I wish you well. I wish you a good night and a great weekend, and I'll catch you at the bell on Monday. Adios.